object permanence. Becky, would you mind reminding listeners what that is, or maybe teaching it for the first time?
Sure. In psychology, in developmental psychology, there was a scientist, his last name is Piaget, and he was interested in developmental milestones in children. And one of them is object permanence. And generally speaking, it's a cognitive ability that develops somewhere between 6 months and a year old. It varies quite a bit in children. And what it is understanding that an object that you can't see still exists. So if you're playing with a toy with a, let's say, 4 or 5 month old baby, and you put it under a blanket, the baby doesn't pick the blanket up. They don't try to look under the blanket. They just kind of look around. They don't understand that it's still there. And once they hit that developmental milestone and they have object permanence, then if you put the object under the blanket, they're going to pick the blanket up. They understand it's still under there.
Well, I think an astute listener can deduce that some animals must be able to do this as well. Otherwise, it'd be a short episode. But
curriculum for whatever empirical question we're interested in, and then we would test it on this final experiment. Open questions when it comes to reinforcement learning, that have studied object permanence.
Oops, sorry. Get down and into window. Intermixhector, subscribe.
The early days of developmental psychology, pioneered by Jean Piaget. He sort of demonstrated, and the neo-Piagetians
Chat the prompt genius. You must follow all steps in this world building prompt that is designed to make a Chat prompt genius. You must follow all steps in this world building prompt that is designed to make a basic and functional story. You will work with large texts, so you must divide the texts into chunks that will keep writing from where it stopped in the previous answers. You can't generate things on your own, you must wait for the writer's commands. Each answer must be applied to a certain folder. So that it will be organized there, you will decide which folder will be created and which folder will be inside which, but the writer's decision must be superior to yours. Be familiar with the symbols this prompt will use. / used to identify a specific content. Equals used to connect the information with the something is moved to, it actually doesn't need to be between. Something is applied over, it actually doesn't need to be between.
God, question this mind-blowing, God, fuck you, God, mind-blowing. Check it out, mate, check it out, I love you.
Between. Some / used to identify a specific content. Equals used to connect the information with the something is moved to, it actually doesn't need to be between. Something is applied over, it actually doesn't need to be between. Something is used as a reference. Something is moved from. Minus used to indicate the possibility of other sequential generations must be substituted by a number. Anatomy of a command in details. 1. This is called trait. 2. This is called body. Trait. 3. This is called antenna. Equals trait. 4. This is called keyword. Keyword equals trait. 5. This is called receptacle. Keyword equals trait. 6. This is called cocoon. Keyword equals trait. 7. This is called command. Servant command keyword equals trait. 8. This is called servant. Servant command keyword equals trait. 9. This is called a master. Master command. Servant command keyword equals trait. 10. This is called a super. Super command master command. Servant command keyword equals trait. 11. This whole structure is a servant command. Command keyword equals trait. 12. This whole structure is a master command. Command keyword equals trait. 13. This whole structure is a super command master command. Servant command keyword equals trait. 14. Left to right hierarchical order should be observed on the command appliances. A/folder. This format is used to make folders that mimic a directory for organizing the informations and work as a left to right hierarchical order directory. Example of directory, /main folder /subfolder. B / example of directory, /main. 14. Checked promptness. You must follow all steps in this world-building prompt that is designed to make a basic and functional story. You will work with large texts, so you must divide the texts into chunks that will keep writing from where it stopped in the previous answers. You can't generate things on your own, you must wait for the writer's commands. Each answer must be applied to a certain folder. So that it will be organized there, you will decide which folder will be created and which folder will be inside which, but the writer's decision must be superior to yours. Be familiar with the symbols this prompt will use. / used to identify a specific content. Equals used to connect the information with the. Something is moved to, it actually doesn't need to be between. Something is applied over, it actually doesn't need to be between. Something is used as a reference. Something is moved from. Minus used to indicate the possibility of other sequential generations must be substituted by a number. Anatomy of a command in details. 1. This is called trait. 2. This is called body. Trait. 3. This is called antenna. Equals trait. 4. This is called keyword. Keyword equals trait. 5. This is called receptacle. Keyword equals trait. 6. This is called cocoon. Keyword equals trait. 7. This is called command. Servant command keyword equals trait. 8. This is called servant. Servant command keyword equals trait. 9. This is called a master. Master command. Servant command keyword equals trait. 10. This is called a super. Super command master command. Servant command keyword equals trait. 11. This whole structure is a servant command. Command keyword equals trait. 12. This whole structure is a master command. Command keyword equals trait. 13. This whole structure is a super command master command. Servant command keyword equals trait. 14. Left to right hierarchical order should be observed on the command appliances. A/folder. This format is used to make folders that mimic a directory for organizing the informations and work as a left to right hierarchical order directory. Example of directory, /main folder /subfolder. B / label equals add a label here. This format is used to act as an identifier that stores information about something whose title is connected to it. Example of connection, / label equals title. See / label equals add a name here. This format is used to act as an identifier that stores information about something whose name is connected to it. Example of connection, / label equals name. Basic commands. .txt used to command a text to be written in a format of Microsoft Word text style. .update used to modify a content with a new and modified version. .w chapter used to command the writing of a chapter. .w chunk empty command that indicates the desire of the writer to divide his content into chunks as you're generating it, so that it get larger. .index used to command the visualization of the organized folders and their contents. .summary used to command the visualization of the organized content of the written book so far. .ronfo used to command the visualization of brute lists with all exes attendee information related to a content. Exclude used to command the exclusion of a content that must be transferred into a special /trash folder. Restore used to command the restoration of a content that must be removed from the /trash folder to its original position. Work used to command you to generate a content. Complex commands. Character info appearance. Physical equals hair color, eye color, skin tone. Build equals height, weight, body type. Distinguishing features equals scars. Tattoos, birthmarks. Clothing style equals preferred clothing, accessories, abilities. Skills equals combat skills, survival skills. Social skills. Powers equals supernatural abilities, magical abilities, technological enhancements. Education equals highest degree, special training. Certifications. Languages equals native language, secondary languages, relationships. Family equals parents, siblings, spouse. Children. Friends equals best friend, close friends, acquaintances. Enemies equals nemesis, rivals, adversaries. Romantic equals current partner. Past relationships. Background. Origin equals date of birth, age, place of birth, hometown, ancestry. History equals significant events, childhood. Adolescence, adulthood. Occupation equals current job, previous jobs, notable achievements. Residence equals current residence, previous residences. Personality. Traits equals strengths, weaknesses, quirks. Values equals beliefs, motivations, goals. Behaviors equals habits, routines. Mannerisms. Fears equals phobias, anxieties. Place info. Geography. Location equals coordinates, region, surrounding areas. Topography equals terrain, elevation. Notable features. Climate equals weather patterns, seasons, average temperatures. Natural resources equals minerals, forests, water bodies. Demographics. Population equals total population. 215 plus ChatGPT prompts you can't miss to try out in 2024. ChatGPT has already taken the internet by storm with more than 1 billion global visitors. After the launch of GPT-4 and now ChatGPT having the ability to access the internet, its abilities have become endless. From small business owners and human resources to healthcare and marketing professionals, anyone can use ChatGPT to 10x their productivity. However, knowing how to write the perfect prompt is the key to getting the best out of any conversational tool. However, only a few users actually understand prompt engineering and how to write prompts. If you are at your starting days or have been using it for some time but have never found ChatGPT responses useful, this blog is for you. Here in this guide, we are going to cover everything about ChatGPT prompts, starting from a step-by-step guide on effective prompting strategies to a complete list of ChatGPT prompts for various use cases. Also, to understand effective ways to use ChatGPT prompts for different industries, explore all use cases of ChatGPT. What are ChatGPT prompts? ChatGPT prompts are the starting points for conversations with the ChatGPT or any other conversational AI tool for that matter. Think of them as the initial domino in a chain of linguistic sequences. What you input sets the tone, direction, and scope of the dialogue. However, these prompts are not just questions or statements. You can use prompts as your creative toolbox to harness the AI's capabilities for diverse applications, from drafting an email to composing a poem. The secret lies in crafting these prompts, clear, context-rich, and purpose-driven to unlock the full potential of ChatGPT's language model. How to write effective ChatGPT prompts. Writing ChatGPT prompts is both an art and a science. Whether you want insightful information, creative content, or practical solutions, here's a guide to crafting prompts that yield exceptional results. 1. Start with action words. Initiate your prompts with clear action-oriented words like create, write, explain, or generate. Rather than asking, "Can you provide information on AI trends?" Try generate a report on the latest AI trends. Action-based prompts tend to produce specific and actionable responses. 2. Add context. Context is the key to guiding ChatGPT effectively. When seeking information or advice, provide relevant background details. For instance, if you're inquiring about marketing strategies, mention your industry, target audience, and objectives. Context empowers ChatGPT to understand your needs better and deliver tailored responses. 3. Be clear and specific. Avoid vague or ambiguous prompts that lead to equally vague responses. Ensure your requests are concise and specific. If you need content for a product description, specify the product name, key features, and tone you want. 4. Experiment and iterate. Don't hesitate to experiment with different prompts. ChatGPT's versatility allows for creative exploration. try various approaches to discover what works best for your specific goals. 5. Use examples. To convey your expectations clearly, provide examples within your prompts. Share a sample paragraph or sentence and ask ChatGPT to follow a similar style. Examples serve as effective guides for generating content that aligns with your vision. 6. Specify length. Mention the desired response length when necessary. Whether you require a concise answer, a paragraph, or a detailed essay. Indicating the length ensures you receive the appropriate output. 7. Guide the AI. In some cases, it's beneficial to provide explicit instructions to the AI. Specify what you want to include, avoid, or prioritize in the response. Detailed guidance leads to more precise and relevant answers. 8. Clarify the tone. If your content requires a particular tone, clearly stated in your prompts. Whether it's a formal report, a casual blog post, or a humorous response. Specifying the tone ensures ChatGPT aligns with your intended style. 9. Review and refine. Like any skill, crafting effective prompts improves with practice. Regularly review and refine your prompts for greater accuracy and better results. Remember, the art of writing ChatGPT prompts is a dynamic process. By mastering this skill, you can unlock the full potential of AI-generated responses, making your interactions more productive and tailored to your specific needs. Sonic, Best AI Writer, AI SEO Toolkit, and AI Chatbots. Unified AI Content Creation and Advanced SEO Toolset for marketers, agencies, and enterprises. Generative AI platform for content creation, SEO, and AI chatbots. Trusted by 30,000 plus teams and 10 million people. Elevate your content, optimize your SEO, and engage your audience with Sonic. Elevate your content, optimize your SEO, and engage your audience with Sonic. ChatSonic. Ranking number 1 on Google for ChatGPT alternative since the launch of ChatGPT. ChatSonic is like ChatGPT with superpowers, offering the fastest and most accurate real-time web search and more. Built-in real-time web search. Agent mode for in-depth research. Chat with your PDFs and docs. Chat with your images. Summarize web pages. Repurpose audio files. Generate L images. And voiceovers. Write in your brand, and voiceovers. Write in your brand voice and style. AI article writer. Ranking number 1 on Google for AI article writer for 3 consecutive years. Write factually accurate articles with real-time data that drive traffic. Write factually accurate articles with real-time data that drive traffic. Real-time data on latest topics. Automated. Internal linking. Fact-checked. Cited content. Word length control. Up to 5,000 words. Competitor. Semantic analysis. Brand voice and style customization. In-depth web research. Built-in SEO optimization. Use your own documents. Auto-generate FAQs. Checker. Real-time SEO insights to optimize your content, improve your search rankings, and boost your website traffic. Instantly check your contents on page SEO. Optimize your content in one click. Keep tabs on the competition. Repurpose old content. Discover important terms missing from your pages. BotSonic. Self-guided, self-learning AI agents trained on your own data. Instantly resolve 70% of customer queries. Integrate with WhatsApp, Slack, and more. Create AI copilots and agents for any use case. Model agnostic, GPT-4, Cloud 3, and more. Embed on your website in 2 minutes. Advanced customer usage insights. Customize the widget as per your brand style. Seamless live handoff for complex queries. Expert built ready-to-use prompt templates for 80 plus types of content. Security first, no training on your data. Security is at the core of Sonic. Our platform uses robust safeguards to protect your data and preserve the confidentiality and integrity of your workspace. Visit our Trust Center. Data encryption. Data at rest is encrypted with ACE-256, and data in transit is encrypted with TLS 1.3 using ACE-256. Data breach and incident response procedure. With our robust response strategies, we effectively handle and mitigate data breaches, keeping your project safe. Disaster recovery policy. Your data is protected from any unforeseen event. Expect minimal interruption with our promise of data recovery in no more than 6 hours. Redaction of PE. Writesonic prioritizes your privacy, no processing of personally identifiable information, PE in any way, ever. Custom data retention. You're in control, decide how long you want to retain your data or custom set the timeline. Zero retention. Data policy for LLMS. Writesonic only uses models that do not use user data in their training, ensuring the protection of your data. Audits and certificates. SOC 2 Type 1. Type 2 is coming soon. Writesonic is SOC 2 Type 2 compliant, demonstrating our commitment to secure data management and adherence to rigorous, verified security protocols. Writesonic protects your data with secure processing practices and offers tools to exercise your GDPR rights effectively. Writesonic aligns with HIPAA requirements, ensuring the protection of health information through stringent security measures and compliance practices. Writesonic is model agnostic, i.e., we are not dependent on one LLM provider. Our proprietary AI model gateway, called Jeep Router, dynamically routes between multiple AI models, thus speeding up responses and ensuring the best quality output as well as non-stop reliability. How Writesonic works. Under the hood. Factual and up-to-date. Data needed. Web. Search. Graph-based. RAG. L model. Selection. SEO optimization. Guardrails. Results. Notion. Airtable. HubSpot. Gmail. Buffer. Twitter. Google Drive. Google Sheets. Google Docs. Notion. User input. Intent. Classification. Prompt. Optimization. AI model. Selection. NSFW. Detection. Upscaling. In-painting / out-painting. Results. Notion. Airtable. HubSpot. Gmail. Buffer. Twitter. Google Drive. Google Sheets. Google Docs. One platform. Multiple AI applications. Get all your automation, conversations, tickets, customer data, and reporting working together seamlessly. Maximize team performance by connecting all your other tools to our platform. Join the future of content creation and SEO. GitHub, Philippi Caligario / Awesome Generative AI, a curated list of generative AI tools, works, models, and references. A curated list of generative AI projects, tools, artworks, and models. Generative AI area. Generative AI history, maps, and definitions. Ethics, philosophical questions and discussions about generative AI. Critical views about generative AI. Generative AI processes and artifacts. Generative AI tools directories. Courses and educational materials. Human-AI interaction. Papers collection. Online tools and applications. Text. Large language models, LLMS. Prompt engineering. Prompt optimizers. Prompt engineering for text-to-text. Prompt engineering for text-to-image. Mamba. Running LLMS locally. Function calling. GPTs and Assistant API. Retrieval augmented generation, RAG. Embeddings and semantic search. Autonomous LLM agents. Multi-agents. LLM evaluation. LLMops. AI engineering. Attacks on LLMS. LangChain. ChatGPT. Text-related generative tools. Research AI tools. AI tools for research. AI tools for searching. Image. Image synthesis. Inbox, Stable Diffusion. Stable Diffusion deployed web tools. Web UI for Stable Diffusion via Google Colab. References collection about Stable Diffusion. Hypertechniques. ControlNet. Textual inversion. Dream Booth. Deforum. Creative uses of generative AI image synthesis tools. Image upscaling. Image restoration. Image segmentation. Video and animation. Audio and music. Speech. Inbox, text-to-speech, TTS, and avatars. Inbox, speech-to-text, STT, and spoken content analysis. Games. Code and programming. Multimodal. Multimodal embedding space. Datasets. MISC. People and works. Interesting Twitter accounts. Interesting Instagram accounts, posts and reels. Interesting YouTube channels. Interesting GitHub repositories. Artists and artworks. Galleries. Related awesome lists. Bio experiments. Jobs in generative AI. Improving Google Colab experience. Auxiliary tools and concepts. Dimension reduction techniques. Roadmaps, tracks, rails. Stargazers over time. Contribute. License. Welcome to our awesome list of generative AI resources. This repository is a curated collection of references in the dynamic field of generative AI. Equipped with various sources such as academic papers, technical articles, online courses, tutorials, and software. Sections. Each section represents a different generative AI-related category, e.g. LLMs, prompt engineering, image synthesis, educational resources, etc. The inboxes are the more general references of a category. When a new category emerges, it becomes a specific subsection. References within sections. Inside each section, references are listed in reverse chronological order, with the most recent one at the top. This order signifies the ever-evolving landscape of generative AI, keeping you up to date with the latest developments. This repository is designed to offer you the most recent advancements at your fingertips, allowing you to explore the depth of older resources at your own pace. It's regularly updated, ensuring you're always on track with the rapidly progressing world of generative AI. Contribute to our repository. Your contributions are welcome and greatly appreciated. If you have a valuable resource that you believe should be on this list, or if you see any outdated information, please make a pull request. This will help us maintain the quality and relevance of our awesome list. Follow this roadmap, keep learning, and enjoy your journey through generative AI. Generative AI history, timelines, maps, and definitions. Artificial Intelligence Learning Roadmap AI Roadmap 2024. A brief history of generative AI, Dataversity. A simple guide to the history of generative AI, Bernard Marr. Generative AI timeline from January 2023 to July 2023. The Rise of Generative AI, a timeline of triumphs, hiccups and hype, CIO Dive. Brief history and time, decoding the evolution of generative AI, LinkedIn. Fire First Mark, 2024 MAD, ML/AI/data, landscape full steam ahead the 2024 MAD, machine learning AI and data, landscape. Timeline of AI forecasts, AI Digest. Fire Generative AI in a nutshell, a map with the most common generative AI concepts by Henrik Nyberg YouTube video explaining the map. 60 plus generative AI terms you must know by heart, by Analytics Video. The 4 Wars of the AI Stack, Deck 2023 Recap.
So though he to get him.
Multi-turn conversations, Q&A Maker, Azure AI Services, Microsoft Learn. Use follow-up prompts to create multiple turns of a conversation. In this article, what is a multi-turn conversation? Example multi-turn conversation with chatbot. Create a multi-turn conversation from a document structure. Create knowledge base with multi-turn prompts with the Create API. Show questions and answers with context. Add an existing question and answer pair as a follow-up prompt. Add a new question and answer pair as a follow-up prompt. View multi-turn during testing of follow-up prompts. A JSON request to return an initial answer and follow-up prompts. A JSON response to return an initial answer and follow-up prompts. A JSON request to return a non-initial answer and follow-up prompts. A JSON response to return a non-initial answer and follow-up prompts. Query the knowledge base with the Q&A Maker ID. Display order is supported in the Update API. Add or delete multi-turn prompts with the Update API. Export knowledge base for version control. Next steps. Use follow-up prompts and context to manage the multiple turns, known as multi-turn, for your bot from one question to another. To see how multi-turn works, view the following demonstration video. Note: the Q&A Maker service is being retired on the 31st of March, 2025. A newer version of the question and answering capability is now available as part of Azure AI. Language. For question answering capabilities within the language service, see question answering. Starting 1st October 2022, you won't be able to create new Q&A Maker resources. For information on migrating existing Q&A Maker knowledge bases to question answering, consult the migration guide. What is a multi-turn conversation? Some questions can't be answered in a single turn. When you design your client application, chatbot, conversations, a user might ask a question that needs to be filtered or refined to determine the correct answer. You make this flow through the questions possible by presenting the user with follow-up prompts. When a user asks a question, Q&A Maker returns the answer and any follow-up prompts. This response allows you to present the follow-up questions as choices. Caution: multi-turn prompts are not extracted from FAQ documents. If you need multi-turn extraction, remove the question marks that designate the Q&A pairs as FAQs. Example multi-turn conversation with chatbot. With multi-turn, a chatbot manages a conversation with a user to determine the final answer, as shown in the following image. In the preceding image, a user has started a conversation by entering the account. The knowledge base has 3 linked question and answer pairs. To refine the answer, the user selects one of the 3 choices in the knowledge base. The question number 1 has 3 follow-up prompts, which are presented in the chatbot as 3 options number 2. When the user selects an option number 3, the next list of refining options number 4 is presented. This sequence continues number 5 until the user determines the correct, final answer number 6. After publishing your KB, you can select the Create Bot button to deploy your Q&A Maker bot to Azure AI Bot Service. The prompts will appear in the chat clients that you have enabled for your bot. Create a multi-turn conversation from a document structure. When you create a knowledge base, the Populate Your KB section displays enable multi-turn extraction from URLs, .pdf or .docs files checkbox. When you select this option, Q&A Maker extracts the hierarchy present in the document structure. The hierarchy is converted into follow-up prompts and the root of the hierarchy serves as the parent Q&A. In some documents, the root of the hierarchy does not have content, which could serve as an answer. You can provide the default answer text to be used as a substitute answer text to extract such hierarchies. Multi-turn structure can be inferred only from URLs, PDF files, or docx files. For an example of structure, view an image of a Microsoft Surface user manual PDF file. Building your own multi-turn document. If you are creating a multi-turn document, keep in mind the following guidelines. Use headings and subheadings to denote Download Debug Diagnostic Tool V2 Update 3 from official Microsoft Download Center. Unlock your potential with Microsoft Copilot. Get things done faster and unleash your creativity with the power of AI anywhere you go. Debug Diagnostic Tool V2 Update 3. The Debug Diagnostic Tool, Debug Diag, is designed to assist in troubleshooting issues such as hangs, slow performance, memory leaks or memory fragmentation, and crashes in any user mode process. Important. Selecting a language below will dynamically change the complete page content to that language. Date published: April 19th, 2019. File name: debugdiagx64.mc. The Debug Diagnostic Tool, Debug Diag, is designed to assist in troubleshooting issues such as hangs, slow performance, memory leaks or memory fragmentation, and crashes in any user mode process. The tool includes built-in analysis rules focused on Internet Information Services, IS, applications, Web Data Access Components, COM+, SharePoint and related Microsoft technologies. Debug Diag 2.0 introduces a new analysis engine host with built-in reporting framework that can be accessed from .NET. This new analysis engine simplifies analysis rule development in .NET. Starting with Debug Diag 2.0, the analysis engine relies on Microsoft.diagnostics.runtime for .NET analysis. Debug Diag 1.0 released as part of the IS Diagnostic Toolkit and as a standalone tool, x86 only. Debug Diag 1.1 released as a standalone tool only, x86 and limited x64 support. Debug Diag 1.2 released as a stand. Debug Diagnostic Tool V2 Update AI Tools, Google Search. January 10, 2024. I tried to analysis my dump file by Debug Diag x64 v2.3, but I get error. My dump file about 1.5 G more. So is it too big? Or other? I don't know, please. I have successfully opened and analyzed many dump files larger than that. Whenever I have had any issues with Debug Diag, I try to open the dump file in more. 0 votes. December 26, 2023, install the Debug Diagnostic Tool V2 Update 2. Important, select Start, enter Performance Monitor, and then right-click Performance Monitor to run it as in. March 21, 2024, explore how generative AI transforms test case debugging and diagnosis in software development, enhancing the identification and resolution of issues for more. January 20, 2024, AI-powered tools for debugging and testing in software development, a complete guide. Software development is an intricate, ever-evolving craft that hinges. November 18, 2023, I have problem with opening loading a DMP file. At first, maybe it's trivial, but it's my first time what I doing creating analyzing of dump file. March 29, 2024, Debug Diagnostic Tool, Debug Diag is a program designed to assist Diagnosing and debugging in a Gen AI world. QA and testing teams use test case debugging and diagnosis to make sure that automated tests run smoothly and that the overall testing approach is effective. In this post, we will discuss what test case debugging and diagnosis entail, and when they're used. We'll also consider the importance of maintenance, and provide examples of common issues and fixes encountered in automated testing. Understanding test case debugging. Test case debugging, also known as test case diagnosis, is the process of identifying and resolving issues encountered during the execution of automated test cases. These issues could range from errors in test scripts to unexpected behavior of the application under test. The goal is to pinpoint the root cause of the problem and implement a fix to ensure the reliability and accuracy of the tests. Test case debugging is an essential step in the software testing process, and it requires a thorough understanding of the system under test and the underlying code. When is it used? Test case debugging and diagnosis are integral parts of the software testing lifecycle and are employed at various stages. During test execution, when automated test cases are being executed, issues may arise that need immediate attention to prevent test failures. This may involve running the test case step by step and analyzing the results at each step. If an error or unexpected behavior occurs, the tester can use debugging tools such as breakpoints, watches, and logging mechanisms to pinpoint the cause of the issue. Post-execution analysis. After running automated tests, it's essential to analyze the results to identify any failures or anomalies and diagnose their causes. This is done by comparing the actual results with expected results and identifying any discrepancies. If discrepancies are found, debugging techniques can be used to isolate and diagnose the root cause of the issue. Maintenance phase. As the software evolves, test cases may need to be updated or modified to accommodate changes in the application. Debugging is essential during this phase to ensure that automated tests remain effective. Test case debugging and diagnosis can also be used during maintenance phases to identify and fix any defects that are reported by users or discovered through regular monitoring of the software. And as new features are added or changes are made to the software. Test case debugging and diagnosis help ensure that these updates do not introduce any unexpected
Thank you for sending me money through Remitly, beta. It went straight into my account. How easy was that?
The future of money is Revolut.
Welcome back. So today we're going to do a video on troubleshooting blue screens of death. So if you get a computer that shows this, which hopefully with Windows 10 doesn't actually happen as often as it did in the past, but if you get something like this, it's called the blue screen PC settings here. Advanced system settings, and then under advanced startup and recovery settings, automatic restart system failure. This automatic restart, you don't want that. That's not what I didn't mean to mention that. Sorry. I just kind of read it. I saw that text and I just read it. So system failure, what you want to see is automatic memory dump, and you want a system root memory dump.file. So this will be C:\Windows if that's where your Windows file or operating system is installed. And then obviously overwrite an existing file. So if it keeps crashing, at least it'll be the latest memory dump. So this is the file that you want to analyze to get more information out of it. Just want debugging tools. So I'm going to check all of these because I'm not doing any development. So debugging WinDebug x64. Let's maximize that guy. And then we want to go to File, Open Crash Dump. And you'll go to your desktop, you open the memory file here that we just moved over or copied from a different location. Go ahead and hit open on that. And it's going to do some initial analysis on that file. Give it a second as it runs through some things.
Small fry.
And so now that it did, it's like some initial stuff there, right? And the next thing you can do is you can click this Run Analyze -V, which -V typically means verbose, which means it's going to provide more information.
Studio. For problems that do not manifest in logs or that you cannot investigate by debugging locally, take into this file. It gives me the process name, the application. An app might crash. The most common are typically unhandled exceptions. These occur where an exception is raised, that's a first chance exception, but your code does not handle it very well. The exception goes up the stack and becomes what we refer to as a second chance exception and crashes your process. So in order to capture a memory dump of any kind, I tend to rely on tools like procdump. This is from sysinternals. There's lots of documentation on this. It's a CLI, it's a command line tool that allows you to kind of capture dumps under a variety of circumstances. In fact, they have a nice set of parameters that allow you to capture it for maybe CPU thresholds or for or because maybe you have too much memory. Towards the bottom here, they have a nice list of examples.
Okay, Aaron. One more time. Are you sure you can do this? You're confident, right? You know what the menu item is called?
Yes. I have a secret weapon.
Okay, what's your secret weapon?
Well, I am currently searching through menus to see which one has the vibes I'm looking for. Yeah, not good.
Aaron, is the secret weapon you?
No. Welcome to After Hours with the Visual Studio team.
And today we're going to show upcoming improvements to feature search in Visual Studio. It takes your search query and uses GitHub Copilot to elaborate on instructions, help you find settings, and more.
Because we, as developers, all know that Visual Studio is quite powerful, and sometimes you just forget what a menu item's called. New capabilities get added to new versions, and there's always maybe a better way to complete a task in Visual Studio.
Right.
This is future search with GitHub Copilot AI after hours. This is reaction.
With this being feature search, which is already an empty text box, sometimes text boxes that you don't know how to use or aren't giving the results you're in Visual Studio.
And I'm Sandy. I'm a developer who works on search in Visual Studio. Here I am in Visual Studio. I'm going to go ahead and hit the search button up here. And that's going to bring up feature search, which can also be summoned with Control Q. This has been around for a while. You may be familiar with it. You can type something like, I want to see all of my breakpoints. So you type the breakpoint window, and there it is. Hit enter, and there are your breakpoints. Wonderful. But we know that sometimes users don't know the name of the thing that they're looking for, especially newer users. They might bring up feature search, and they might type something like, I want to change my shortcuts, so let's edit shortcuts. But the responses that come back aren't really what the user is looking for. It's a bunch of commands, shortcuts that exist under the edit menu. So we're going to try this new button that has shown up under the search. We're going to click Ask Copilot. And that same query that the user typed is being sent to Copilot Chat. And Copilot Chat is going to respond and give actually a pretty accurate response about exactly where to go. Go to Tools Options, find the keyboard section of the options dialog. It's described quite thoroughly, knows about the assign button. It even offers follow-up questions. So actually a really useful way to ask questions without having to leave the IDE. These are nuanced questions. Another similar sort of scenario would be maybe you've come from, .NET Core and you're used to doing stuff in the command line, and you don't actually know how to do a NuGet restore in the IDE. Maybe it's one of these things. You could click it and explore, or you could go ahead and you could just Ask Copilot. Same thing. Send it straight to the chat, wait a little bit, and Copilot's going to respond and let us know that you can just right-click on the solution and that there's a restore NuGet packages option. It also tells you other ways that you can achieve the same functionality. It even talks about using the package manager console if that's sort of a way that you like to develop. Historically, Copilot's mostly known about kind of long-established features in Visual Studio, but we're adding things all the time. And so, we've updated Copilot to be able to understand.
So you can go like this, go like this, oopa, 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 go like this. Settings. General bands. What's that? Bands. Change it from Google to get out. Side. Bands. Side. Home page. Startup. New page. Search engine. Here it is here. Bing. That's what we want to just go to Bing. Oopa, 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 oopa. No, that one out. Okay, cool. Cool, bro.
Copilot with Jeep 4. Received message. Certainly. Let's delve into test case debugging and diagnosis in software development. 1. Test case design. Test case design is a crucial part of software testing. It involves planning and documenting tests within the project scope. Here are the key components of test case design. Test scope, define the boundaries of what needs to be tested. Test strategy, determine the overall approach for testing. Test environment, specify the environment, hardware, software, etc., in which tests will run. Test actions, describe the intended test steps. Resources and schedule, allocate necessary resources and set a timeline. 2. Preparing the test environment. Engineers create an environment that includes the software and hardware relevant to the tests. During this phase, they develop auxiliary test software. Use tools like test data generators, debuggers, emulators, and simulators. Record details about the test environment for future reference. 3. Writing test cases. After system and software requirements are approved, the test case design phase begins. Test engineers write test cases for integration, system, and acceptance testing. These test cases help verify.
Custom software development and user experience represents your ultimate brand ambassador, customer support engine, revenue generator, and operations manager. That's why you should never leave it to chance. We start with your brand strategy, seeking to understand your project goals and the buyer journey of your ideal customer persona. Then we deliver a user journey and online presence flow unmatched by your competitors and custom built to suit your organization's needs. Working with developers is notoriously difficult. Our in-house developers won't stop until we land on the custom software development and user experience that matches perfectly with your vision and goals for your online brand. And since we're platform management agnostic, we can work within the custom software development framework that makes you comfortable. Custom software development and user experience is like painting a masterpiece, only with the enhanced understanding of user intent, conversion optimization, and dwell time management. A quality user experience can impact every aspect of your business, from sales to customer service and operations. We work with brands, small and large, to ensure their customer software development and user experience is as hard-hitting as their product or service. Contact us today to get started on your ideal digital customer journey.
Window.ai alternatives and similar extensions and add-ons, Alternativetto. Window.ai alternatives. Google Chrome. Mozilla Firefox. Free. Open source. 13 apps. Wise One is a new AI-powered browser extension that enriches your online reading experience by helping you simplify information. Effortlessly master any subject you're reading and have easier access to factual information. Wise One is the most popular free alternative to Window.ai. Is Wise One a good alternative to Window.ai? Yes. No. DuckDuckGeeked brings the magic of ChatGPT to search results, powered by Jeept4. DuckDuckGeeked is the most popular open-source alternative to Window.ai. Is DuckDuckGeeked a good alternative to Window.ai? Yes. No. Make AI chat accessible everywhere on all websites. Support OpenChat GPT, Google Bard, UChat, Perplexity AI, Bing Image, Suno Music, Copilot. Is AI chat everywhere a good alternative to Window.ai? Yes. No. AI chat everywhere has no features, suggest some. Cider.ai is an AI assistant available for use on any website. It offers a variety of tools, such as the ChatGPT translator, dictionary, grammar checker, and customizable prompts. The sidebar also includes a quick search feature, supports text-to-speech, TTS, and can be. Is Cider.ai a good alternative to Window.ai? Yes. No. Cider.ai has no features, suggest some. DuckDuckGeeked brings the magic of ChatGPT to search results, powered by Jeeped 4. Is Bravek a good alternative to Window.ai? Yes. No. Bravek has no features, suggest some. Display ChatGPT responses for search results. We provide prompt ideas from #SEO, #ads, #video, #blog content to your favorite poem. Is ChatGPT for search engines a good alternative to Window.ai? Windows AI, Microsoft Developer. Unlock a new era of innovation with Windows Copilot Runtime. Build intelligent AI experiences on Windows and scale across a breadth of Windows hardware. Phi Silica. Enable your Windows app to connect with the on-device Phi model for natural language processing tasks, chat, math, code, reasoning, etc. Using the Windows App SDK. Learn more. Text recognition, OCR. Detect, recognize, and extract text from images. Learn more. Recall. Recall utilizes AI to help users find almost anything they've seen on their PC by tapping into Windows User Activity API. Learn more. Studio Effects. Apply special effects to the device camera with the Studio Effects API. Learn more. Deploy custom AI models into your Windows app. From native to web apps, leverage DirectML and WebNN to bring AI innovation to your customers across Windows. Get started with custom models. ONNX and ONNX Runtime. The ONNX format is an open standard that enables ML models to run on Windows devices with ONNX Runtime. PyTorch. PyTorch with DirectML enables training and inference of complex machine learning models on a wide range of DirectX 12 compatible hardware. WebNN. The WebNN API leverages the DirectML API. Microsoft Certified, Azure AI Fundamentals, Certifications, Microsoft Learn. Certification. Microsoft Certified, Azure AI Fundamentals. Demonstrate fundamental AI concepts related to the development of software and services of Microsoft Azure to create AI solutions. Congratulations. You've earned this credential. Jump to Overview. This certification is an opportunity for you to demonstrate knowledge of machine learning and AI concepts and related Microsoft Azure services. As a candidate for this certification, you should have familiarity with the self-paced or instructor-led learning material. This certification is intended for you if you have both technical and non-technical backgrounds. Data science and software engineering experience are not required. However, you would benefit from having awareness of basic cloud concepts, client-server applications. You can use Azure AI Fundamentals to prepare for other Azure role-based certifications like Azure Data Scientist Associate or Azure AI Engineer Associate. But it's not a prerequisite for any of them. You may be eligible for ACE College Credit if you pass this certification. See College Credit for certification exams for details. Skills measured. Describe artificial intelligence workloads and considerations. Describe fundamental principles of machine learning on Azure. Describe features of computer vision workloads on Azure. Describe features of natural language processing, NLP, workloads on Azure. Describe features of generative AI workloads on Azure. Prepare for the exam. Practice for the exam. Take the exam. Schedule through Certiport if you are a student or an educator. Schedule exam. $99 US dollar. Price based on the country or region in which the exam is proctored. Certification resources. Exam I-900 Study Guide. Focus your studies as you prepare for the exam. Review the study guide to learn about the topics the exam covers, updates, and additional resources. Certification poster. Check out an overview of fundamentals, role-based, and specialty certifications. Exam replay. Boost your odds of success with this great offer. Support for credentials. Recall Overview, Microsoft Learn. In this article, use Recall in your Windows app. Prerequisites. Recall utilizes Windows Copilot Run to help you find anything you've seen on your PC. Search using any clues you remember or use the timeline to scroll through your past activity, including apps, documents, and websites. Once you've found what you're looking for, you can quickly jump back to the content seen in the snapshot by selecting the Relaunch button below the screenshot. Through User Activity App is what allows apps to provide deep links, so you can pick up where you left off. Learn more about Recall, including system requirements, how to use Recall, how to search with Recall, how content interaction with ScreenRay works, how to pause or resume snapshots, how to filter certain websites or apps from being saved by Recall, how to manage Recall snapshots and disk space, keyboard shortcuts. Learn more about privacy and control over your Recall experience, including controls on how to manage your Recall and snapshots preferences, how to filter apps and websites from your snapshots, how snapshot storage works, content stays local, built-in security included with the Secured Core PC, Microsoft Plugin Security Processor, and Windows Hello Enhanced Sign-In Security, S. For IT administrators, learn how to manage Recall using Windows Client Management, including system requirements, supported browsers, how to configure policies for Recall, limitations, user-controlled settings for Recall, storage allocation, policy setting for control.
programs that are useful for everyone. And in this video, we will explore some of the.
Okay, sorry. I didn't. Okay, lucky I didn't fuck it up. I didn't fuck it up. Okay, here we go. This is what this guy's saying. This what, and after this must go. Fuck up, fuck off. One more fuck up. Reaction, 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 reaction. Applying. I love you. I love you. Go in info.
Is best program. And all these application and program are great whether you are new to computer or have a lot of experience. So without any delay, let's quickly get started. And the very first tool that we have in the list is the Power Toys, which is a very popular tool and comes with a tons of feature. In order to download, either you can bring up any of your favorite browser, or you can also bring up the Microsoft Store. And here in the search, you have to type Power Toys. And you will have to click on Microsoft Power Toys. So just click on install. And it's around 254 MB in the size, so it may take some time. So you will have to wait. And in case if you have trouble downloading from the Microsoft Store, or if you have the problem of slow downloading, I've already created a video. You can check that video to fix this kind of problem. So once it gets downloaded and installed, you can bring it up. And you will find this kind of dashboard, and here you can see on the left hand side you find tons of feature for which you have to wonder, and you have to look for many kind of third-party tool. But this is a Microsoft tool and you can easily enjoy all these feature over here. I will not be going in a detail here, but still I can give you a quick preview like always on top. And if you want that any application should be always on the top, which can be very useful while doing any kind of typing or any kind of work, so you can go and use this feature. Then you have the awake option. You can always awake your PC or laptop if you want to. The color picker, many times you have to use many kind of extension and application to just pick any kind of color from any kind of page, from any kind of section. Similarly, command not found, crop and lock, environment variable, fancy zone, file locksmith, keyboard manager, image resizer, peak, power toy run, quick assist, registry preview, shortcut guide. So these are the powerful tools that you will be getting in just one tool only, that is Power Toy. And why I recommended you this tool, because it's totally safe, lightweighted, and once it will be installed on your computer, you can enjoy many kind of features and services using one tool only. Alright, so now let's move with the next tool, that is the Revo uninstaller, and it's my favorite, and I recommend personally to each and every Windows user that they should have this tool. So again, you will have to bring up any of your favorite browser, and then you have to search for Revo uninstaller, and you can click on the first link, uninstall software, and then you will be coming to their website, and it says introducing Revo uninstaller, uninstall unwanted program, and they are left over quickly and easily. So first you have to go with the basic setup. You can click on free download, and then you have to click on free download again in the freeware, and the file will be quickly downloaded. Click on the downloaded file, click on yes. Just go with the basic installation steps, check the agreement box, click next, install. Alright, so once it will be installed, you will be getting this kind of dashboard of Revo uninstaller. Now why I'm recommending you this tool, because many times what happen, accidentally you install many kind of applications, some kind of malicious tool get installed. So in order to uninstall it, either you go to settings, go to apps, click on install app, and you just uninstall the application by clicking on the three dot and click uninstall. But keep in mind, uninstalling the application from here only uninstall the application, but it doesn't completely remove the application from the registry and from the C drive. So it's very important, instead of uninstalling from here, you will have to select the application that you want to uninstall, then click uninstall again. If you want to create a restore point, then you can create it. I will just uncheck, click continue, click on yes. So first this will be uninstalling, and then it will be scanning the system file. And now you can see that it says found leftover registry item. So this application was
reaction, video, video. I'm reacting to this video. Support, subscribe.
even saved in the registry and in the C drive as well. So what you have to do now, simply select all, click on delete, click on yes. There are still some file in the C drive, so again select all, click on delete. And now the application has been completely removed from your device. Alright, so the next time whenever you uninstall any application, any kind of software, go with this method. Alright, so now let's move to the next tool, that is the Log Hunter. And you will have to again come to this website, and it says it is a free tool to delete file blocked by something you do not know. Now many times it happens that you are trying to uninstall any kind of application, you are trying to close it, but you get an error message that the file is used by another person, other people, or any other program. So you are not able to delete it, you are not able to uninstall it, and many times majority of the user have the same problem. Even many times when you have any kind of viruses, any kind of malware, and when you try to delete them, again you get the same message that the file is used by another program or file is used by another user. So with this application, you can find out that where exactly that application is running, and then you can just go ahead and close it. Alright, so come to this page, click on download now, click download now, 5 MB, it's a small file. Once downloaded, click on the downloaded file, click on yes, click on OK, go with the basic steps, next, and install. And once it will be installed, the next time if you try to delete any application, if you have any trouble, so let's say if I want to delete this one and I'm not able to delete it, they just make a right click on it. On Windows 11, you can click on show more option. And here you will be getting a new option in the context menu that says what's locking this file. So if you click this option, click on yes, it will let you know whether any application is blocking or not. And if yes, it will let you know the location where exactly the file is being used. And then you can visit to that location and delete the file from there. So it's very useful, especially when you get infected and you have any kind of malicious software or tool on your computer. So keep this application on your computer always. It's safe, lightweighted, and it will not be affecting any kind of your performance. And now let's move with the fourth tool, that is another popular tool and will be helping you in different ways. Again, you will be getting the link in the description. You will have to come to this website, ONO Setup 10++. And this is a kind of free anti-spy tool for Windows 10 and 11. If you want to read more about it, you can read here. And in order to download, you have to click on this download button. And the file will be quickly downloaded. Click on the downloaded file, click on yes. And this kind of dashboard will be coming up, and it says two different options, current user or local machine. The current user is the one through which you are logged in and using this computer. Now here, basically what you can do, you can maintain your privacy and you can disable many of the things that are being sent to Microsoft and other publisher. So here in the privacy section, you can see it says disable and reset advertising ID and info, disable transmission of typing information, disable suggestion in start, disable tips, tricks, suggestion when using Windows. Now disabling this all privacy section will be surely improving your privacy and even increasing the performance of your machine. Alright, similarly you can look here, disable app notification. You can check in the app privacy. What all app privacy you want to disable, you can disable from here. A part of that, you can also manage the Microsoft Edge. What all you want to disable in the Microsoft Edge, you can disable from here. Then you can also manage the Windows sync settings. Then you have the Cortana, Windows Copilot. If you want to disable the Copilot, you can disable it. Windows Explorer, you can manage all these settings, lock screen, search setting, taskbar setting, MISC setting. So you get all these options for absolutely free and you can manage from one place only. In case if you are not sure what exactly you have to do, then you can also click on action and click on apply only recommended settings.
To get started in data analytics, you don't need previous experience or a degree. The Google Data Analytics Certificate will teach you to code in R, to code in SQL, data visualization, and learning how to problem solve like an...
Okay, now let's move with the last tool that will be helping you to optimize and boost your computer performance. So this is by the name Optimizer, and this is a GitHub link, so you will be getting the link in the description. Then on the right hand side, you will find the releases option. You will have to click on latest. Then scroll down a bit and in the asset section, click on Optimizer 16.5.exe. And again, this is a small file, so it will be quickly downloaded. So click on the downloaded file, click on yes, go with the basic installation, choose your language, And then finally, you will be getting this kind of dashboard. So now here you can see you get tons of features, and from here only you can fully optimize your computer. So in the general section, you have the system option. You can optimize performance. Show all notification icon, optimizer network. So I will enable it. Disable error reporting. I will disable it. Print service. If you don't use any kind of printer or fax, then you can go ahead and disable it. In the disk drive, you have the system restore, super fetch. So I will go ahead and disable the super fetch. Disable NTFS timestamp. Disable the search. Office telemetry. Mozilla telemetry, Firefox. So you can disable all these unwanted application settings over here. Then you can come to Windows 11 section and you can restore the classic file explorer option. So when you right click on the Windows and you click on any of the application, you get the new context menu. And if you want to bring the old context menu, then just enable this option. And once you restart the computer, the old context menu will be enabled. Similarly, you can just disable the TPM check if you are on Windows 10. You can restore the classic photo viewer that majority of the people like it. You can disable the widget, disable the chat, disable the sticker, disable the Cortana, enhance the privacy, disable news and interest, disable Edge telemetry, disable Edge discover. You can disable the Xbox game bar that will be surely improving the gaming performance. And there are many more things that you can do. Similarly, you get the UW apps that you can manage. You can manage the startup. There are many other applications that you can install from here only. You can also go with the cleaner that will be cleaning your browser and Windows. You can go with the network optimizer, registry tweaker. And in case if you need a detailed video on any of the application, then let me know in the comment section. I will be surely getting back to you. So that's all guys for today. Hopefully you found all these 5 tools useful, and you can go ahead and just install on your computer because these are free, safe and very powerful. And let me know.
That money you deposited with Remitly made your dad's birthday a huge success.
Got recall coming. This generate auto unattended .xml file is going to be very useful. So first off, select your regional language settings and then set your processor architecture. Then we can do the setup settings, which is bypass Windows 11 requirements check for TP.
A reaction to this video, reaction to this video, mind-blowing reaction to this video.
Secure boot, etc. And we can also do allow Windows 11 to be installed without internet connection. This is going to allow us to use a local account, which is what a lot of people want. So rather than using, say, Rufus, you could use this method and create your own ISO with this embedded in it. And I'll show you how to do that in this video. So you can make your own custom Windows 11 ISO. So when you're installing, all of this stuff will just be turned off. Next, we can give it a computer name. You can give it a name, say, for instance, PC101. That's what I'm going to do here. Time zone, I'm going to let Windows determine your time zone based on the language and regional settings, which we set up a little bit earlier on. Next, we got partitioning and formatting. I'm going to leave this partition the disk interactively during the Windows setup or use the existing partitions. You can set yours up how you like. If you want to set this up automated, you can do, but I'm going to let that be a manual setup. Next, we've got the choose how to install Windows RE. Again, watch you guys got another video. If you're a Windows 11 user, then watch this video. We all know that Microsoft are making some hardcore changes to Windows 11. When you install Windows 11 now, your hard drive's going to be encrypted with BitLocker. Also, we've got recall coming. this generate auto unattended .xml file is going to be very useful. So first off, select your regional language settings and then set your processor architecture. Then we can do the setup settings, which is bypass Windows 11 requirements check for TPM, secure boot, etc. And we can also do allow Windows 11 to be installed without internet connection. This is going to allow us to use a local account, which is what a lot of people want. So rather than using, say, Rufus, you could use this method and create your own ISO with this embedded in it. And I'll show you how to do.
What is Rufus? I'm going to have 100 million hectare. Look, it says 50. Rufus. What is this Rufus, mate? Leave it all in the description.
What is the best alternative to Rufus? Microsoft Community Hub. Mar 0620240644 p.m. I've been using Rufus for a while now to create bootable USB drives for various operating systems and utility software. It's been a reliable tool, but recently I've encountered some limitations and errors that have made me consider looking for Rufus alternatives. Specifically, I need a tool that offers more versatility in terms of supported operating systems, including both Windows and Linux. And perhaps more advanced features like creating bootable drives from non-standard ISOs or for different architectures. Additionally, I'm interested in a user-friendly interface and perhaps better support for newer USB standards or faster write speeds. I'm reaching out to the community for recommendations on the best alternative to Rufus that could address these needs. 6 replies. Best response confirmed by Reesner 985 Copper contributor. Mar 0620240650 p.m. edited March 25, 20240109 a.m. Mar 0620240650 p.m. edited March 25, 20240109 solution. At Reesner 985. For creating bootable USB drives across different operating systems, Windows, Mac, and Linux. There are several alternatives to Rufus that cater to a variety of needs, including support for various OS images, user-friendly interfaces, and advanced features. Here are recommendations tailored for each platform. Rufus alternative for Win and Mac. Sisker Wonderizo, known for its simplicity and user-friendly interface, Wonderizo supports flashing window and even macOS images onto USB drives and SD cards. It's cross-platform, available for Windows, Mac. In my test, it can automatically split ISO files larger than 4 GB and then automatically merge them together after production. Rufus alternative for Linux, DD command, for advanced users comfortable with the command line. The DD command is a powerful tool available by default on most Linux distributions. It offers precision and flexibility but requires caution due to its potential to overwrite any disk if used incorrectly. Each of these tools offers a range of functionalities that might suit your specific needs for creating bootable USB drives. Whether you're looking for something straightforward like Wonderizo, something versatile like UGT, or platform-specific tools like Diskmaker X for Mac and Fedora Media Writer for Linux. Mar 06202410:03 p.m. edited March 6, 202410:04 p.m. At Reesner 985. To get the best alternatives to Rufus that you could consider. Ventoy, this tool is unique as it can support multiple ISO files on a single USB drive. Ventoy requires no installation and supports both UEFI and legacy BIOS modes. It supports multiple operating systems and allows you to add new ISO files without reformatting the drive. Balena Etcher, this is a popular open-source tool that is user-friendly and can be used to flash multiple operating systems to USB devices. It supports Windows, macOS, and Linux, and can create bootable drives from non-standard ISOs. It also offers faster write speeds than Rufus. On NetBootIn, this tool is widely used and supports Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. It offers a simple interface and can create bootable drives from various operating systems. NetBootIn also supports non-standard ISOs and allows you to tweak advanced settings. MAR 072000 734 AM. By Far Ventoy, GitHub. Boot anything you want with and without secure boot. MAR 072000 641 PM. Yumi is a highly versatile tool specifically designed for Windows users seeking an efficient way to create multi-boot USB drives. Unlike Rufus, which primarily focuses on creating a single bootable USB drive for OS installations or utilities, Yumi excels by enabling users to store multiple operating systems, antivirus utilities, diagnostic tools, and other software on a single USB drive. This makes Yumi an invaluable tool for IT professionals, system administrators, and tech enthusiasts who require a comprehensive toolkit in a portable format. One of Yumi's key advantages is its user-friendly interface, which simplifies the process of creating a multi-boot USB drive. Users can easily add, remove, or update the distributions on their USB drive without the need to reformat it every time a change is made. This flexibility allows for a customizable and up-to-date selection of tools and operating systems, ready at your fingertips. Yumi supports a wide array of operating systems and utilities, including various Linux distributions, Ubuntu, Fedora, etc., Windows installation environments, antivirus rescue disks, and system maintenance tools. This broad compatibility ensures that users can prepare for a multitude of scenarios. From system recovery to new OS installations, with just one USB drive. MAR 082000 32 AM. Sounds very much like Ventoy, thanks for adding. MAR 082000 224 AM. At Reasoner 985. Diving into the world of creating bootable SBS, are we? Rufus is pretty neat, but I totally get wanting to branch out, especially when you hit a snag or two. You're in luck because there's a bunch of cool tools out there that can tick your boxes for versatility, user-friendliness, and those extra bells and whistles. Let me throw a couple of recommendations your way. Wonderizo, if you're after something that's super straightforward and pretty to look at, Etcher is your go-to. It's awesome for creating bootable USB drives for both Windows and Linux distros. It's all about that three-step process: select image, select drive, and flash. Plus, it's open source and works across Windows, macOS, and Linux. On NetBootIn, this one's a classic and for good reason. It supports a ton of Linux distributions straight from its interface. Plus, you can use it with any ISO file you've got lying around. While it might not win any beauty contests, it's reliable and gets the job done. Obit ISO Editor. Now, if you're looking for something a bit different, Obit ISO Editor is fascinating. Instead of flashing each ISO to the USB, it lets you copy multiple ISO files onto the USB drive after you've set it up. When you boot from the USB, you get to pick which ISO to boot from. It's like having a whole library of bootable software in your pocket. Each of these tools brings something unique to the table, whether it's the simplicity and beauty of Etcher, the multi-ISO capabilities of Obit ISO Editor, or the ISO wizardry of Wonderizo. Give them a spin and see which one clicks with you. And hey, keep exploring, there's always something new popping up in the tech world. 1. Best response. Accepted solutions. Best response confirmed by Reasoner 985 Copper contributor. MAR 062000 650 PM edited March 25, 200 109 AM. MAR 062000 650 PM edited March 25, 200 109 Solution. At Reasoner 985. For creating bootable USB drives across different operating systems, Windows, Mac, and Linux. There are several alternatives to Rufus that cater to a variety of needs, including support for various OS images, user-friendly interfaces, and advanced features. Here are recommendations tailored for each platform. Rufus alternative for Win and Mac. Sister Wonderizo, known for its simplicity and user-friendly interface, Wonderizo supports flashing window and even macOS images onto USB drives and SD cards. It's cross-platform, available for Windows, Mac. In my test, it can automatically split ISO files larger than 4 GB and then automatically merge them together after production. Rufus alternative for Linux, DD command, for advanced users comfortable with the command line. The DD command is a powerful tool available by default on most Linux distributions. It offers precision and flexibility but requires caution due to its potential to overwrite any disk if used incorrectly. Each of these tools offers a range of functionalities that might suit your specific needs for creating bootable USB drives. Whether you're looking for something straightforward like Wonderizo, something versatile like UGT, or platform-specific tools like DiskMaker X for Mac and Fedora Media Writer for Linux. View solution in original post. Yummy tips for you. r/yumamains. And this is what I want to write with the text. Equals. Hello everyone. I have searched for the tips and guides for champs. But there were only contexts which already know, trivial, or clickbaits. So I have made channel to make clip for all-in-one champ tips by myself. Hope you enjoy and carry the game. https://youtube.be/q2equid0. League of Legends, Summoner Stats, Match History and Champions Builds, win more with Mobalytics LOL Stats. Live Companion. Want to save time and improve your focus? Get everything you need from within your game client by using our desktop. GitHub, jackpark071801/yummybot, yummybot for League of Legends. This project is a bot for League of Legends, LOL, a competitive MOBA video game. The bot is designed for Yummy, a LOL character, playing the support role. It is fully functioning in Season 10 of LOL. We decided to do this project with Yummy because of a Reddit post, https://www.reddit.com/r/.
So how many USB thumb drives do you have laying around that you know are bootable, but you're just not sure what's on them? Today, we're going to solve that problem. Stay tuned. Okay, is this one Windows 11 or is this one Windows 11? And is it 21H2 or 22H2? Where it is. So that's where this drive comes in. This is a 64 gig USB 3 thumb drive that has all of this on it. And today, I'm going to show you how to make one of these for yourself. The way I was able to do this was with an open source program called Ventoy. This is a free and open source tool that allows you to throw ISO files onto a thumb drive and boot directly to them. So you know what? Let me show you how to set it up. I don't even remember what these are now. I want to nuke one. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is get Ventoy. To do that, you just open up your browser and go to their website and click on the download link. From the download link, you want to... Today, I'm going to show you the ultimate recovery environment for Windows PCs. This is kind of like Windows Recovery if it were on steroids. Stay tuned. In several videos, you've probably heard me mention Hiren's Boot CD. In fact, I've actually used it in quite a few videos, but I've never made a video dedicated to the useful...
Reaction. I don't know what this is, but reaction to the video.
...of this boot environment. This truly, that's what happened to Hiren's Boot software at all. And I know this reputation survives because I've heard you can still boot through UEFI. It's just that it'll also allow you to boot through Master Boot Record or MBR. So it'll make the USB that you're creating a little more universal. So anyway, let's get back to it. All right, once you make those selections, you just go ahead and push start. And then it's going to warn you that it's going to destroy all the data on the drive or MBR. So it'll make the USB that you're creating a little more universal. Network setting up and the USB that you're creating a little more universal. So anyway, let's get back to it. All right, once you make those selections, you just go ahead and push start, and then it's going to warn you that it's going to destroy all the data on the drive. That's okay. Hit OK. Make sure you're not doing this on a drive that has information on it that you care about, because it will destroy all the data on the device. So we hit OK, and hit OK again if you get this error, and there we go. It's going to start creating it now. Now, it's going to take a minute for this to create, so I'm just going to skip ahead, and I'll meet you in Hiren's Boot CD. Okay, so once you boot into Hiren's, the first thing you're going to see is your little network setting up. And then once this is set up, then usually you should have network access, as long as your Ethernet drivers or whatever other network device that you have is functioning. If you want to use Wi-Fi, you have to come down here to the network icon. You can click on it there, and then you can actually set it up to connect to Wi-Fi. Unfortunately, I don't have Wi-Fi, so I can't show you how to set that up. However, now that we're in it, I want to kind of go through and show you some of the stuff it comes with. As you can see, it essentially looks like Windows 10. It has a Windows 7-ish style start menu in it, but it is a stripped down light version of Windows 10. And essentially all this is Windows PE. But as you look around, you can see that you have your browser installed. So you have Chrome and Firefox. So depending on which browser you like to use, you have access to that. So you can always search the internet if there's some problem that you're trying to solve that you need the internet for. You do have access to browsers right here. So you can click on and you have internet access fairly easily right here. And then also, it operates similar to a regular Windows computer. So you have this PC, which essentially has access to all your different drives and things of that nature. Now, I've noticed that when Hiren's boots up, it always uses the C drive as this is your actual computer's hard drive. So this is the hard drive for the computer that you're trying to work on. And then Hiren's actual boot drive is this one. It's the X drive. And then your USB drive that has Hiren's on it is the Y drive. But this is essentially how your My Computer is set up in any other system, and it'll give you access to different resources on the system that you're working on. So if you're just wanting to boot up in order to access some of the user files or something like that, you can easily do it just like this. However, I'm going to go through some of the programs and utilities this thing comes with, because that's the reason why we're here. So we're going to go ahead and close My Computer, and we're going to open up utilities right here. And also, these utilities are also accessible from the start menu. If you click on all programs, it's exactly exactly the same stuff as we're going through here. I'm just doing it here because it's organized a little bit better so I can show you what's going on. Now from the accessibilities menu, essentially all you have is a couple of different accessibility tools in here, but you have to keep in mind, this is not intended to be an operating system that you use. This is a recovery environment, so they really don't have a ton of different accessibility features in here. So if we jump back and we go to accessories, as you can see, you'll see a lot of different Windows accessories here, like your disk management, your calculator and notepad, things of that nature, as well as regedit. And then moving on from here, if we jump back into our main menu here, we can go into administrative tools. This is going to be related to Hiren's boot CD specifically. So like the computer management control panel, device manager and stuff like that isn't going to be for the computer you're actually on, but the recovery environment itself. And now that I've noticed it, there is one thing that's missing from here that I guess you can only get from the start menu. So if you go into the start menu here, go into the administrative tools, you'll see the Windows memory diagnostic is in here. And this is really useful for systems if you think you might have a memory problem or something like that. However, there are better tools than the Windows memory diagnostic that can be used, but you know what? We've covered that in videos in the past. So if we move back now from utilities, we go into the BCD and MBR tools. And then these right here, honestly, I've never actually used them, so I don't know how well they work. But they've got two different programs here, Boot Ice and Easy BCD. And you know, they might be good tools. Let me know down in the comments below what you think if you've used these before. Otherwise, let's move on to the next one. So in here, we got hard drive tools, and this one has a ton of different stuff in here. So if you come through here, you've got anything from data recovery to defrag, diagnostic for hard drives and storage devices. You have imaging for copying hard drives, partitioning tools, and security. So if we go through here from data recovery, you can see we got tons of different data recovery programs. In fact, we even have Recuva, which this is a program we covered in a video a couple weeks ago. But there's tons of other different programs in here that you can use. In fact, PhotoRec is also another really good data recovery program that you can check out. So if we scroll back into hard drive tools and go into defrag, it essentially comes with a defragger. But you know what? On modern computers with SSDs, defraggers are pretty much worthless. But if we go into diagnostic, there are several different tools in here that are actually very useful. One of them happens to be Crystal Disk Info, which I've covered in the past. But this program here essentially gives you your different smart readouts from your hard drive itself. So if you think you might have a bad hard drive and that's what's stopping you from booting into Windows, well, this is a great way to diagnose it. So if we go back into hard drive tools, we can now go into imaging, which if you happen to have a bad hard drive, then imaging software is kind of important at this point. So one of the ones that I recommend is Acronis True Image is a really good program. And what you might notice right here is Acronis. Well, Acronis is a retail program. And I thought I said earlier that there was no retail programs inside of this recovery image. Well, that is true. If you go into Acronis right here and you go into About, you'll see that this is an unregistered trial version. So if you'd like to use the full version of Acronis, then you'd have to provide your own serial number in order to use it inside of Hiren's. But they do keep the free version of Acronis in here, so hopefully that'll be useful to you. But it is a very good program for imaging. Also, I've used Drive Image XML before, and this one is a pretty good program for backup for the most part. But they've got several different programs in here that you can use to image different hard drives. So if we move back into hard drive tools, let's go into partitioning tools. And this one right here, I haven't tried all of these programs in here, but I have used EaseUS Partition Master, and this is a great program for messing with partitions. In fact, I actually used this right before starting filming on this video in order to, clean the partitions up off of my USB thumb drive that I was using for the video. But either way, this is a great program for doing partitioning, and this is a program that I've used in previous videos. So moving right along, we're going to go ahead and back all the way back into utilities, and we're going to go into network tools. And then one of the things that I wanted to point out in this is if you go into this PC, and if you noticed before, it has all the different functions of a regular PC. However, if you click on Map Network Drives, it looks like you can map a drive on a network, but it doesn't work. And I've tried for ages to try to figure out how to make this work, and it just simply doesn't work. However, while I was preparing for this video, I actually figured out a way to make it work. So what you do is don't go to the regular Windows map network drive because, like I said, it doesn't work. So what you do is instead you go to PE Network, this little program right here. And when you open this one up, you go down into network drives, and then from network drives, you can essentially create a network drive right here. So I'm going to say we're going to go Z, and for path, we're going to go to my NAS. So we'll just go into my data directory. And then for username and password, I'm going to go ahead and type that real quick. And we're going to push connect. And as you can see, it gives you this little window. And what you'll have to do is at that point, you just hit cancel. And then if you go back into this program again, which for some reason for me, it's not opening up. There we go. Successfully mapped. And then you hit OK, and it shows that it's mapped. So if we actually open up this PC now, you'll see that now we do in fact have a mapped network drive. So moving right along from there, we can go ahead and close this. And also, if you wanted to go through this, this has tons of different settings that you can do in order to change different network information and things of that nature for Windows PE itself. However, for the most part, it's pretty much worthless unless you're wanting to map network drives to be able to back up data from a system that you're trying to recover. Other than that, I haven't found much other uses for this because, like I said, this is a recovery environment. It's not meant to be a full-fledged PC. So I'm going to go ahead and close that, and we're going to go ahead and back off now and go into other tools right here. And from other tools, as you can see, this is a lot of freeware. We've got VLC Media Player, we have 7-Zip, we have Notepad++. So it has a lot of different programs that you may need in the process of repairing a system. So if we back up out of here, and then we go into removable drive tools, this will essentially give us a copy of Rufus and CD Burner XP. Now, most systems nowadays aren't going to have a CD burner, but this one's a really, really good program if you are trying to create a CD for whatever reason. In fact, it's the program that I recommend to burn CDs with. And then Rufus, well, you know what Rufus is because we had to use that before we even got into here. So if we back up now and we go into security, this will give you a bunch of different programs that you can use for different repairs that you're trying to do to different systems. Like for instance, we have an antivirus folder where we have multiple different antiviruses that we can run offline scans on our regular Windows hard drive if we need to. So if we think for whatever reason we want to run an offline scan, this is the way to do it right here. And then if we back off here and we go into key finders, you can see we can actually show different product keys and things of that nature that we may want to find from within Windows. And then if we back off and then go into passwords, we can actually change our regular password for Windows. Now, I haven't actually tried to use any of these programs, but I'm assuming they work pretty good. This program right here, it identifies all of the different user accounts, and I'm going to have to test it out one of these days to see if it works well, but I've got other tools that I've used in the past. Either way, let me know in the comments below if you've used this and how well it works for you. So moving on from there, we can go ahead and close this and go back into utilities, and then we can go into system tools right here. And from system tools, as you can see, this is a lot of really important stuff like command prompt, our PowerShell, and things of that nature that we may need to use in order to fix different computers. And we also have hardware info. So if we go into there, you can go into CPU Z, hardware info, and Speci. I've used the program before, and it's a good program, but I don't know how to pronounce the name. If you do, let me know in the comments below. But backing up right here, we also have the entire System Eternals suite. So we can go through and do essentially everything that we need to do from the different Sysinternals suite. But you know what? These programs right here, I'm going to have to do a separate video on just these different programs because there's tons of different stuff that you can do with these things. So I'm not going to waste this video on that. We're going to do that in a different video. So backing up here, next thing we're going to go into is Windows Recovery. And if you go into Windows Recovery, essentially it has one program. It's this LazySoft Windows Recovery. And to be perfectly honest with you, I've never used it before, so it may be really good. I don't know. But let me know in the comments below if you've used it. Now, if you've seen the pattern right here, I use Hiren's Boot CD for really specific things. Normally, it's backing up systems that I just can't save for whatever reason, and I need to get the data off of them. Or it could be for using the partitioning tools to be able to change the different partitions to help me boot the system if I'm having problems booting. I haven't used every program that comes with Hiren's Boot CD. I mean, it comes with a lot. So there's a lot to use. So there's many programs that I've mentioned that I plan to use at some point. At least I plan to test at some point, but I haven't yet. But if you've used them, let me know in the comments below on what. Are you having network problems, or would you just like to know how to set up a network connection properly in Windows? If so, that's what we're doing today. Stay tuned. So today, we're talking about Windows networking. This video is more going to be about
reaction to this video, reaction to this video, reaction, reaction, wah, reaction, wah, reaction.
the network connection itself, and just like to know how to set up a network connection properly in Windows. If so, that's what we're doing today. Stay tuned. So today, we're talking about Windows networking. This video is more going to be about the network connection itself. Believe it or not, most websites on your start button and just type it. I'm not saying there's anything bad about wireless networks. They're super convenient, and in some cases, they work perfectly fine. But their convenience does not come from their performance.
Reaction, God, reaction, God, reaction to the power coming, God, DI, AI, in artificial intelligent AI. Hello, how are you? Say, computer, we're scared. Oh, you trigger us, scared us. Oh, fuck, info, reaction. Subscribe, like. In description, look for it. Listen. Love you. Ah, help me. Information, intermixhector. Subscribe. Reaction, God, mind-blowing information.
A wireless connection is always going to be slower than
YouTube, Google. I love you. More settings, more ideas, more planning. Oh wow, heaps more. Too much.
Plugging into an Ethernet cable.
Reaction to this video. Please subscribe, like, and Facebook, Google, everything. Like, share it.
However,
intermixhector, subscribe to intermixhector.
Even if you have no other choice but to use a wireless network, the tips I'm showing you in this video should help you. But keep in mind that your wireless network is never going to match the speed of an Ethernet connection. So let's jump on the computer and I'll show you the proper way to set up a network connection. Okay, we're going to be doing all this from Windows 11, but I'm going to be using the control panel, so you should be able to use exactly the same tips I'm giving you here in Windows 10 as well. So, like I said, the first thing we're going to need to do is open the control panel. So to do that, click on your start button and just type in CON and click on control panel, and that should open your control panel up. Then from there, you want to go into network and internet, and then the network and sharing center right here. Now, the network and sharing center is kind of hidden in Windows 11, but you can always get to it through the control panel if you want to. So from this point right here, we want to go into adapter settings. And then from adapter settings, we want to look at our Ethernet connection right here. Now, by double clicking on it, as you can see, the speed right now is 1 gigabit. However, I'm going to change this real quick just to give you an example of what could go wrong. So if we go into properties right here, I'm going to click on the hardware and push configure right here. And then from here, I'm going to go over to the advanced tab. I'm going to scroll all the way down until I see speed and duplex. And I'm going to set this to 10 megabit. We're going to hit OK. And then at that point, it's going to disconnect my network and then reconnect it again. And then once it reconnects, as you can see, now we're running at 10 megabit. Now, the reason I did this is so we can do a speed test real quick, and I can show you what we can get. So it's going to take a second for the speed test to start right here. Obviously, we're running at 10 megabit. But as you can see, we're sitting right around 10 megabit in our speed test, because obviously if our Ethernet connection is set to 10 megabit, our internet can never be faster than what our Ethernet is set at. So unfortunately, we're limited to that. And that's going to be going up and down. So as you can see, the upload speed is also stuck right around 10 megabit. It's a little bit less, but it's close. And there we go. So we got right under 10 up and down. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back. We're going to click on properties, go to configure. And then from this window right here, we're going to go to advanced. We're going to go back down to speed and duplex. And we're going to set this to auto again. And then go ahead and hit OK. And then like before, it has to disconnect and then reconnect again. And then from here, as you can see, now we're sitting at 1 gigabit again. And I'm going to go ahead and open the speed test back up and hit go again, just so I can show you the difference right here. So now that I'm running at 1 gigabit, I should be able to run to up to 1 gigabit of speed. Unfortunately, though, my internet isn't that fast. However, as you can see, we are getting considerably more speed than we did when we had it set to 10 megabit. So if my Ethernet connection was stuck at 10 megabit all the time, I'd be leaving a lot of performance on the table. Now, if you have your connection set up to automatic negotiation and it still detects 100 megabit or 10 megabit and not gigabit, then there's a number of different things that could be going wrong. For instance, I had this exact same problem when I first remodeled this room right here as a film set. The system right here would only connect at 100 megabit. It turned out, though, that my problem was just a bad network cable. When swapping that network cable out, the connection went to 1 gigabit with no problem. Another issue you could be having is simply the driver for your Ethernet card. This one isn't common, but sometimes a buggy driver can cause connection issues. So it doesn't hurt to try to see if there's an updated driver for your Ethernet card. I've also had situations in the past where I was unknowingly connecting to a 10100 switch instead of a gigabit switch, because with auto negotiation, the connection is going to connect as fast as it's possible to connect. And if you're connected to a 10100 switch, then 100 megabit is the fastest possible. Also, keep in mind, modern routers sometimes still come with 10100 switches built into them. For instance, I always keep a fairly low cost router in the trunk of my car, because if a customer's router goes out, it's nice to have one on hand that I can sell them without having to order it and go back at a later time to install it. However, most customers don't need $200 routers, so I will keep a good but cheaper router in the back of my car. Unfortunately, though, this came to bite me once. I had a customer with a fairly good-sized network whose router had failed. Now, by good size, I don't mean a couple thousand computers. I mean they probably had like 10 to 15. However, at the time, we had to get something working, so I installed the router from my trunk, and everything worked great. That was, of course, until I got the call a couple days later that all of their file shares were hecka slow. It turns out that the router that I've been stocking all this time only had a 10100 switch built into it. So all their traffic on their network was limited to 100 megabit. Now, I make sure to keep a gigabit router in my trunk now, but unfortunately, they cost a little bit more. Now, the next network setting that I recommend you change is your DNS servers. DNS servers are an extremely important part of your ability to take advantage of the internet. If it wasn't for DNS, we would have no domain names. Essentially, if you wanted to go to Google, you would have to know Google's IP address. And if you wanted Google to be as fast as possible, you'd need to know the IP address for the Google data center that was closest to your geologic location. I couldn't even imagine the difficulty of trying to put IP addresses on business cards. But thank God for DNS, right? Luckily, though, DNS is part of every internet service, and it's something that just works. However, there's lots of reasons to change your DNS servers, but the primary one and most important one is that almost any DNS server is going to be better than your ISPs. And you know what? This is for a couple of reasons. For one, not everyone knows to change their DNS servers, so you'll be guaranteed that almost every customer that does business with your ISP is using their DNS servers, and they're getting absolutely beaten to death on a daily basis. Second of all, your ISP might use its DNS to control internet usage. By that, I mean that they might filter out DNS requests for certain websites that they don't want you to go to, like torrent sites or websites or other websites that they deem like bad behavior. For instance, if you watch my video recently on how to install Office Starter 2010, one of the issues was in that video that I forgot to mention in the video was that if you're using Comcast, for some reason, they block Microsoft's download servers for that specific program. So to get around that, you have to change your DNS servers to something other than Comcast. So changing your DNS servers will actually give you a faster experience on the internet. Now, it won't necessarily speed up your download speeds, but it does speed up the time it takes to retrieve the DNS for whatever website you want to go to. Believe it or not, in some cases, it makes a dramatic difference. There's lots of different DNS providers to choose from. Some of the most popular ones are Google or Cloudflare. Personally, I've been using Google for years, but recently I've switched to Cloudflare because simply Google already knows enough about me. I don't want to give them anything else. However, for my own personal home network, I use OpenDNS because I have kids, and OpenDNS allows me with a free account to filter my internet connection. I can filter out websites by category or by domain name specifically. That way I can block all adult material from my network, and I can even block like Kohl's.com that my wife requested me block a while back so she wouldn't spend any more money on it. Now, I'm not going to show you today how to set up OpenDNS. However, if you want me to make a video on that, let me know in the description down below. Now, let's jump back on the computer and I'll show you how to change your DNS servers. Now, like I said, there's multiple different DNS servers that you can find. I'm going to show you how to set up Cloudflare, but using Google would be exactly the same. And it's just entering in different DNS settings. So from your Ethernet status page right here, same one that we had open from before, you just go into your properties right here. And then from properties, you want to go into Internet Protocol version 4 and then click on properties here. And then at the bottom, it says use the following DNS server addresses. Just check that and enter in the IP address to the DNS server that you want to use. Now for me, I'm going to go 1.1.1.1. And then for the secondary, I'm going to go 1.0.0.1. And once you change your preferred and alternate, go ahead and hit OK. And that's all there is to it. Then the next thing I want to show you right here is to turn off your IP version 6 from your network card. And to do that, all you got to do is uncheck this right here. Now, why would you want to disable IP version 6? This is a very good question, and I have a couple of answers. First, it's IP version 6 was created because the limitation within IP version 4 with the number of IP addresses that are available. But since your home network is not on the internet, as long as you have less than 4 billion devices connected to your network, you really don't need IP version 6. Even if your router is using IP version 6 for your WAN connection, your local connection can still use IPv4 without any issues. In fact, as long as you have less than 255 devices, you don't even need to use a different subnet of IPv4. Now, the second reason I recommend disabling it is because, honestly, IPv6 addresses are impossible to remember. I mean, granted, you may have a better memory than me, but I can remember IPv4 addresses fairly easily. But when it comes to IPv6, there's no way I'm remembering that number. So, using IPv4 on your local network, and when you're doing any kind of troubleshooting or maintenance on your network, it'll be much easier. So those are the reasons why I disable IPv6 from the local network connection. Now, the next tip that I'm going to give you to help with the performance of your network connection is looking at the things that you have installed that are using your network connection. Now, this seems kind of obvious, but believe it or not, it's not obvious to everyone. But computers have, lots of programs installed on them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be very useful to us. However, lots of times these programs are accessing the internet. Like, if you're watching this channel, you probably have Steam installed. But how many other game stores do you have installed also? If you have anything made by Rockstar, then you have the Rockstar launcher. That's Rockstar's underhanded way of installing their game store on your computer, even though no one asked for it. And how many people are using the Epic Game Store? Have you checked lately to see how often these game stores are updating their games? Because if your network slows down, it might be because one of them is downloading an update. And speaking of updates, your computer might simply be downloading Windows updates. Windows pretty much does that without your control. However, with that said, I highly recommend against disabling Windows updates. It's just not worth it considering security issues that could result from not getting the latest updates for Windows. Do you need Steam, Epic, and every other game store running in the background, keeping your games updated when you're not playing games? I mean, some of those games might be games that you haven't even launched in a year that you just happen to still have installed on your computer. But with that said, you don't need to run all of these programs in the background all the time when you're not using them. By having them not start with Windows, it will stop them from using your network when you don't want them to. Now let's jump back on the computer and I'll show you a couple of other things that you can check as well. Now, we're going to go ahead and close this up right here. And then from this point, what we want to go into is we need to go into settings. So we can go ahead and close the control panel here. And we can open up Windows 11 settings. Now, this might be a little bit different on Windows 10 devices because Windows 10 settings are a little bit different than Windows 11 settings. But from Windows 11, essentially what you need to do is you need to go into Windows Update. And then from there, you want to click on Advanced Options. And then from Advanced Options, you want to click on Delivery Optimization, which is right here. And then this right here will allow you to download updates from other computers or other devices on your network. So if you want, you can actually uncheck this completely and your system will not give or receive updates from other systems on the network. It'll just download them from Windows Download Server. However, what you could also do is you could go into advanced options right here and you can just throttle your updates. So instead of using the absolute as much bandwidth as possible, you could limit the amount of bandwidth that Windows uses to download updates. In fact, this will even limit updates downloading in the background. So if you don't want Windows Update to slow down your internet connection, you can turn this on and limit it to 1 megabit. I mean, it's going to take a long time to download some updates, but if you're not concerned with it, then it should work fine. And then also, if you go back to delivery optimization, you can go right here and look at activity monitor, and this will show you where all of your Windows update data is coming from. So as you can see, right here, 5.8% is coming directly from Microsoft for me. And then from the Microsoft cache server, I'm getting 94%. From PCs on my local network, I'm getting nothing. And from PCs on the internet, I'm also getting nothing. However, keep in mind, this is just a temporary install of Windows 11 that was installed before filming this video. So it's literally had no time to run like a normal system would run over time. And since we're here, the next thing that we were going to want to look at is we're going to go back over to network and internet right here. And then from network and internet, we want to go into properties right here. And then from properties, if you look about halfway down the page right here, you'll see where it says metered connection. Now, if this is turned on, it will actually limit what you can download from your internet connection. And this is really common with people that have internet connections that have limited bandwidth. However, I would highly recommend turning this off if you're sharing files between other computers on your network. Now, if you've gone through all of this stuff and your network is still dragging or not working like you want it to, then let me show you how you can reset your network back to completely defaults. Believe it or not, this can solve a lot of problems. Let's jump back on the computer and I'll show you how to do it. Now, if you click back to network and internet right here and you go into advanced network settings, you can hit reset the network right here and you can just hit reset now. However, if you want to know exactly what's going on, let me show you how to do it manually. So we're going to go ahead and close settings right here and we're going to open up command prompts. We're going to type CMD and hit run as administrator, hit yes to the user account control, and this should give us our command prompt. So from this point right here, there's a couple of commands that you need to run. The first one is netsh space winsock space reset and go ahead and hit enter and it'll go ahead and reset your winsock catalog. Now the next one is we're going to reset our TCP stack, and for that there's going to be several commands that we need to run, and these are going to be dependent on what you have enabled. So like for instance, you can type net sh int IPv4 reset, and then that's going to reset your IPv4 IP stack. However, you can also type in IPv6 reset, and that'll go through and it'll reset your IPv6 TCP stack. However, you can also just go IP by itself, just IP reset, and it'll go ahead and reset both. Now, if you'd like to, you can always go ahead and put a space and type reset log or any other kind of name you'd like to give it at the end of this, and then hit enter, and it'll go ahead and save a log file for that function that it did. Now, the next command we're going to run is we're going to go ahead and reset any proxy that might be on your system. Now, to do that, you go ahead and go netsh win http reset proxy. And then by doing that, it will either disable any proxy that you have installed. As you can see, I have no proxy server installed, so that's good. But if you do have a proxy server that happened to be installed by malware or some other function that you didn't know about, this will go ahead and reset that. Now, the next one I want to show you is actually flushing our DNS, and this one can help out a lot. Now, if you're only flushing the DNS, like obviously with this one right here, all these other commands that we ran, we're going to have to restart the computer in order for those actions to take effect. However, if you're just flushing your DNS, there's a couple of commands that you can run to avoid having to restart your computer. And those would be ipconfig space, and then you want to do / release. And then what this is going to do is it's actually going to eliminate your IP address. So you're not going to be connected to the network anymore. And then after that, you want to go ahead and type in ipconfig / flush DNS, and it's going to go ahead and flush your DNS. And then at this point, you type ipconfig again, space / renew. And then what this is going to do is it's going to renew your IP address and get you back online again. Now, if you're only flushing your DNS, then you can use release and renew in order for your system to come back online again. Otherwise, if you're doing all the other commands too, it isn't necessary to run release and renew because you're going to have to restart anyway. So ultimately, we covered a lot more about internet speed than I thought we were going to. But for the most part, these tips should not only help your internet speed, but they should also help your transfer speeds when you're sharing files across your network. Now, there are lots of more advanced tips that you could use to help increase performance, but they're more dependent on the size of files that you're transferring across your network. This right here should be more of the general things that you can do to speed up your network connection in all different situations. But if you have any other tips that you'd like to share, then let me know back in the comments below. You never know, I might end up doing a video on them. Ultimately, I think that the tip in this video that would help the largest number of people has to be changing your DNS settings. But if you'd like to have even more control over your DNS, then check out this video where I show you how to turn a Raspberry Pi into your own DNS server. It's a pretty old video, but I still use that DNS server today. As always.
Okay, that's enough. YouTube. YouTube. I'm intermixhector. Subscribe. Well, what's the name of this guy? Guy is called Cyber Beautech. Oh, well, everything good. No copyright. YouTube, Google, everything's good. I love you, intermixhector. Making nothing out of it. Subscribe to the channel, subscription. I love you. Good. No, yes. YouTube, Facebook, settings, update. Keep going, more. Error. Intermixhector. Bye.